in 5. The Mayor of Canada's capital, Ottawa, has declared a state of emergency in response to more than a week of truckers' protests against COVID restrictions. Jim Watson said the city was completely out of control, with demonstrators outnumbering police, and he said that protests posed a threat to resident safety. Ottawa's centre has been paralysed with vehicles and tents blocking roads. The Freedom Convoy was sparked by the introduction last month of a new rule that all truckers must be vaccinated to cross the US-Canada border. But the protests have morphed into broader challenges against COVID health restrictions. The protesters have since gathered in downtown Ottawa near Parliament Hill, and their demands have grown to include ending all such mandates nationwide and opposing the government of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Australia has announced the reopening of its borders to vaccinated tourists and other visa holders for the first time in almost 2 years.
It's almost 2 years since we took the decision to close the borders.
The reopening on the 21st of February will be welcome news for many sectors, including international education. Australia has had some of the world's strictest border controls throughout the coronavirus pandemic.
The condition is you must be double vaccinated to come to Australia. That's the rule. Everyone is expected to abide by it, and it's very important that people understand that requirement if they're seeking to come to Australia. But if you're double vaccinated, we look forward to welcoming you back to Australia.
People in Morocco have buried the 5-year-old boy who died after being trapped in a well for 4 days. Rayan Oram fell down the 32-metre well on the 1st of February, sparking painstaking efforts to rescue him that drew attention from around the world. Hundreds gathered at the well and thousands more followed the rescue efforts online. His apparent rescue was initially met with cheers from the crowds, but this turned to heartbreak minutes later when it was announced that the rescue had come too late. The US Coast Guard and a Good Samaritan have rescued 18 people who were stranded on an ice floe in Lake Erie after it broke away from Catawba Island in Ohio. The group of 18 were riding snowmobiles and all-terrain vehicles on the frozen lake when the section they were on broke away. A US Coast Guard helicopter crew were the first to spot the stranded group and initiate a rescue operation. The Coast Guard rescued 11 of the group with an airboat and helicopter. A fire in a rural part of the state of Western Australia has sent a large plume of smoke and dust into the sky. 2 fires burned in the region on Sunday. Bushfires in the state wrecked at least half a dozen homes and destroyed over 60,000 hectares of bushland. It's thought that more than 1,300 people have been fighting the blazes. A highway bridge in northwest Germany was detonated in front of onlookers in the northern Rhine-Westphalia area. The controlled detonation had to be monitored closely to prevent damage to the new bridge alongside it. For safety reasons, the crowd of curious bystanders had to maintain a distance of 300 metres and the area was temporarily sealed off. The Queen's accession gun salute has taken place across the UK to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Here, the Honourable Artillery Company conducting a 62-gun salute at the Tower of London. The Platinum Jubilee is 70 years since Queen Elizabeth ascended to the throne. In June this year, it will be celebrated over a special 4-day bank holiday weekend. And finally, around 337 ancient artefacts dating back to different historical eras have landed in Baghdad after being handed over by Lebanon. The artefacts mostly consist of clay tablets with inscriptions from the Akkadian era and the Old Babylonian. A Lebanese committee had been investigating the origin of the artefacts since 2018. Iraq's ancient heritage has been decimated by conflict, destruction and looting, especially since 2003. Thousands of artefacts are still missing. With the help of international agencies, Iraqi authorities have been trying to track down, return and preserve its archaeological relics. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.